Friday will be the most awkward return of a former player that has already returned on a different team, but this time he shows up in a rival sweater. Corey Perry coming back. Not sure what to think about this one, but let's get into it on this episode of Locked On Anaheim Ducks.
You're Locked On Ducks, your daily podcast on the Anaheim Ducks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, everydayers. I'm your host, Kyle Carr. Welcome to Locked On Anaheim Ducks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, now the #1 sports podcast network. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. If you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL live bets all season long. If you're a new listener, I'm a longtime Anaheim Ducks fan, and I've spent multiple years covering collegiate sports, including college hockey. But here every day on Locked On Anaheim Ducks, we're talking about the NHL Ducks, and a little break right now as we're celebrating the holidays. Merry Christmas to everybody who celebrates, and happy holidays to everyone else celebrating either Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, or just hanging out, enjoying some time off. And if you had to work, I am so sorry. I know how that is. I used to work at Disney. And I was in the Marine Corps, so I guess that's two peas in a pod there. Right. So what are we going to get into today? Got a couple of things I want to get into. The Ducks will have one more day off before they get back into action. And then I'll get into what games are coming up and what to expect later in the next coming week. And then, later in the episode, I'll go over what to expect later in the week. And starting December 26th is the World Juniors. So I will break down kind of some teams to pay attention to and which Anaheim Ducks prospects will be playing in the tournament, and just kind of what my thoughts are on the tournament. But first, got to talk about what I mentioned at the beginning of the cold open there. Corey Perry coming back to the Honda Center. Well, not quite coming back to the Honda Center. This will be at crypto.com, but this will be the first time that the Ducks will be playing Corey Perry in an LA King sweater. Not so sure what to think about this. And then they will be coming to Honda Center eventually later. And the Ducks faithful get to see Corey Perry in that new awkward uniform. This isn't the first time that the Ducks have played Corey Perry since leaving the team, considering he last left Anaheim in 2019. That was the last time he played for the Ducks. And then kind of a weird fun fact about Perry, after he left, he actually did not play in the Honda Center until January 21st, 2022. So he gets transferred. He moves over to the Dallas Stars in 2019. And then the Ducks played against him in Dallas, but he never made it to the Honda Center that season. And then he goes over to Montreal during the bubble season, which they only played Canadian teams. So if you weren't really a hockey person or really paying attention back then, the bubble season was only played in Canada for the Canadian teams. The West played, like, each division only played themselves, but they kind of tweaked it by making a Canada division and then kind of the rest of the teams in their split division. So they did not see Corey Perry that year. And then he did eventually come back and play January 21st, 2022 with the Tampa Bay Lightning in the Honda Center in a opposing sweater. And that was the first time the Ducks fans got to see him not in a Ducks sweater at the Honda Center. So took a little bit. There's a lot of, I feel like the like, how dare you leave us, or, the sadness of that kind of faded out because there's so many years later that we hadn't seen him and he'd already been bouncing around. So a little interesting how that went down. But since 2019, like I mentioned, he did go to Dallas, and then he played for them during the 2019-2020 season. And then the 2021 season, is the kind of shut down year where he went to Montreal, and the Ducks did not see him play there. Then he went to the Tampa Bay Lightning for the 21-22 and the 22-23 seasons. Then he had the scandal with the Chicago Blackhawks in 23-24, only played 16 games with them, eventually ended up on the Edmonton Oilers, was with them the last 2 seasons, and then signed a 1-year deal as a free agent with the LA Kings this season. Fun little factoid about Corey Perry. He has been to the Stanley Cup Finals 5 times since winning the Cup with Anaheim in 2007. So he was successful in 2007 going down the Cup final race, his first year ever playing in a Cup Finals, wins it. Then much, much later in his career, doesn't see the finals with the Ducks ever again, and then ends up going 5 times to the finals with different teams and ends up losing every single time. Every single time that he has gone to the finals, he has lost ever since 2007. Like, tough luck. He was on the last 2 Edmonton Oilers losses to the Florida Panthers. He was on the Dallas loss in 21 or 20 in 2020. And then he was with, or no, sorry, they didn't go to the finals. I don't know, why did I think Dallas went to the finals? But it was Montreal, because that whole weird, like, truncated season. Somehow Montreal ends up going to the finals, losing to Tampa Bay Lightning, and then he goes over to Tampa Bay, and they end up losing to Colorado, and then it turns into the Florida and Vegas final, and then you've got the last 2 of Edmonton and Edmonton losing twice to Florida. So not a good look for the old Corey Perry when it comes to getting to the finals. So the kind of leading joke is that now that he's on the Kings, they're going to go to the finals and end up losing to whoever they play. And possibly, I don't know if they're going to be able to make it to the finals. It might be like the year that the Florida Panthers in Vegas went to the finals, and he will not be making it a final appearance this year. That is my hope, at least. But this year, Perry has he's played 30 games for the LA Kings. He's been pretty decent this year. Kind of took off and was their leading goal and point getter there for a little bit at the beginning of the year. 7 goals, 8 assists, 15 points so far. He's a +4, and that's 30 games that he has played. So not too bad for him. He has 1 power play goal in that and 4 power play assists. Has racked up 31 penalty minutes. Not surprised at all that he's getting penalties. And for those of you newer to following the Anaheim Ducks, so Beckett Seneca is kind of Corey Perry is who a lot of fans have been comparing Beckett Seneca to, a lot of the OG fans, because there's a lot of similarities to the way him and Corey Perry play. And Perry's nickname is the Worm, and he because he always finds himself just worming into the front of the net in the danger areas, causing havoc, having incidental or accidental, quote unquote, contact with goaltenders. And he's just a very skilled pest. He's like Marchand, where he knows how to finish. He knows how to play really good hockey, but he's also going to get under the skin of the opponents. And he's got the wiry, lanky frame, just kind of like Beckett Seneca has. And I would like to see Seneca kind of take some of that characteristic of being a pest and getting into those danger areas and just muscling his way through, because I see him being able to do that. He's got the big body. He's definitely got the IQ. He's always in the right spot. When he was in juniors and now with the NHL, he's been adapting really well to the space and time and where he needs to be. And I think if he can kind of get that little edge under his belt and just be the Worm 2.0, I think that's really going to help Anaheim out in the long run. So this game, it will be in Crypto Arena on Saturday against the Kings. But when Corey Perry does eventually come back into the fray and ends up in the Honda Center in an LA Kings jersey. I don't know what to like how to even process that, cuz yeah, he's played for other teams before, but this is the rivalry team. This is the team up north that we don't like them. I've got a guy in my class, Ed. He's a great guy, but he's a Kings fan. He loves hockey overall, but he's a Kings guy. And him and I go back and forth about the two cups, the first cup, the where the rookies are, where the teams are playing, that the Ducks up at the top of the season this year. It's just back and forth. There's always that just grit between Kings and Ducks fans. And so what's Perry's gonna get? Is he gonna get the Boo Bird showing up? Is he going to like is that even like, do we care enough that he's in a Kings jersey? Like, does it matter to us? Because he was absolutely hated by the Kings fans. Like Corey Perry was a blacked out, banished, do not speak of this player type name when it came to Kings fans. Now he's on that team. So is that what he is to us now? Like, is everything that he's done for the Ducks, is that just erased? Like, who cares? It's over. You're on the Kings now, bud. Like, sorry, not sorry. I don't know. But I'm looking forward to seeing him and seeing kind of just how this goes between the Corey Perry or the LA King Corey Perry versus prior Corey Perry's and this new Ducks team, and just kind of how things go. I could see him kind of being a nuisance to Beckett Seneca in that game. So keep an eye out on that, and it's gonna be interesting. It's definitely going to be weird watching that screen, seeing him and his name come up in that black and white or silver and white, whatever color they end up playing with. I feel like they're kind of switching their jersey up every other game. So we'll see how that goes. But we're over Corey Perry now. We got to talk about the World Juniors and the excitement that this time of year brings and just why I think it's my favorite time of the year. We'll get into that right after this. NFL Sundays move fast, one big play, and suddenly everything feels different. That's what makes live betting with FanDuel so exciting. You're not just watching the game, you're reacting to it in real time. With FanDuel, you can place bets as the action unfolds. Every drive, every momentum swing, every highlight moment. Live betting is best when the game starts to shift, a receiver gets hot, a defense tightens up, or the momentum flips after a turnover. FanDuel lets you jump into the moment. Live spreads and money lines adjust instantly. Player props update as guys heat up. You can bet next touchdown scorers, drive results, totals, and more. It keeps you locked into every snap, every drive, every possibility. Currently, the Rams minus 450, Atlanta Falcons plus 350. So if you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL live bets all season long. FanDuel, the game moves fast, and so can you. Now, I want to say thank you for making Locked On Anaheim Ducks your first listen of the day, and thank you for making Locked On the #1 sports podcast network. You already live your team every day. Now take it up a level and go ad-free. Join the Everydayer Club today and get Locked On Anaheim Ducks with no interruptions, members-only Discord access, and more. All for just $5 a month or $50 a year. Go to lockedonanaheimducks.supercast.com or check the link in the show notes to learn more. So now the World Junior Championship Tournament begins Friday, December 26th, Boxing Day. And legit, this is one of my favorite times of the year. I feel like it's just this culmination of hungry, young hockey players playing for their nations, and it's like the little preview we get of what to expect in the Olympics this year. And it's just a really, really fun time of year. Sit down, hang out with the family, watch some afternoon games, and root on your country or players that are prospects of your team. Whatever it is, it's just a good time of year. And luckily this year the tournament is being played in Minnesota, so the games will be fairly normal start times for the USA and Canada games. Doesn't really help watching Ducks prospects, but the games aren't bad scheduled. It's not like they're in Sweden or Finland or somewhere where it's all crazy with the times and when these guys are playing. So looking at just how the schedule starts off, the first game of the tournament is between Sweden and Slovakia at 10 a.m. Pacific time, and this will be one you want to watch. I'll get into why in a second. After that will be Denmark versus Finland at 12:30 p.m. Pacific, followed by Germany versus USA at 3 p.m. And then to wrap up day one, Czechia versus Canada at 5:40 p.m. Pacific time. So a lot of fun games to open up the tournament. Obviously, this goes throughout the weekend, and the championship, I believe, the final game is the 30th or the 31st or New Year's Day. I don't have the schedule right in front of me, but it goes through basically the rest of the year and into next year, and that's when they'll have the final game. And it's a very big year for Team USA, but they don't have any of the Ducks prospects playing for them. So on Saturday, you got to watch, what was it? The Switzerland versus USA at 3 p.m. Pacific. It's another game you'll want to check out because there is a Ducks prospect on there. And now the reason I said Sweden earlier and Switzerland now is because those are the teams that have some pretty big Anaheim Ducks prospects on their rosters, or at least some people that you need to pay attention. But I'll go through all of the Anaheim prospects that are playing in the tournament. There's a couple others as well, not on those two teams. So first off, to start things off, we have Eric Nilsson, who is a center. He was a 2025 second round pick, 45th overall. And he was one of the players I was very, very impressed with during development camp and training camp. He's a little undersized, but he is hungry. He is a workhorse. He's got the fight in him. He's got the dog in him, as Leo Carlson says. He is a hard-nosed player playing in the NCAA this year, and someone that I really like to watch. So I'm super excited to see him on Sweden and see how he does throughout this tournament. Lucas Pettersson is also on Team Sweden. He's another Anaheim Ducks centerman prospect, 2024 second round pick, 35th overall, also playing for Team Sweden. And he's been developing extremely well. He's another player that I like, and I know he's kind of a fan favorite. There's been a lot of fans out there asking for him to come up. They've been waiting for him to make an appearance. So I think his time will come. He's still working out there in Europe, but we'll be seeing him at least in the near future in San Diego, if not on the Anaheim Ducks, making a couple game appearances. Now on Switzerland, you have Elijah Neuenschwander or Nunschwander, who is a goalie. He's going to be Team Switzerland's goaltender, so definitely a big important role for him. And he did pretty well last year as their goalie, so look forward to him basically just standing on his head for Switzerland. And his first appearance is going to be against Team USA, one of the top contenders this year. So definitely going to get his money's worth while playing out there. He was 2025 fourth round pick, 104th overall to the Anaheim Ducks. So looking forward to him playing as well. Now, some of the other players that will be making an appearance on Finland, you've got Lasse Bulius. He's a left defenseman. He was a 2025 second round pick, 60th overall. And Daryl Jolanski's left defenseman. He'll be playing for Latvia, and he was a 2024 seventh round pick, 214th overall, and someone that's been tearing up the O. So looking at where all of these players are at this year and how they're doing on their respective teams, Eric Nilsson, like I said, playing for the NCAA for the Michigan State Spartans. He has played 16 games this year. He has 3 goals, 3 assists for 6 points, 12 penalty minutes, and is a +4. So keeping the puck out of his net, but not really finding the back of the net as much. But the NCAA this year is such a up and down league this year with the new like Canadian hockey league players being able to end up in the in NCAA this year has completely changed the parity of college hockey. And so not a bad performance, especially that he is +4, but would like to see a little bit more scoring out of him out there in Michigan State. Then you got Lucas Pettersson. He plays in the Swedish Hockey League for Brynäs IF Gavi. I don't even know if I said that right, but he has 26 games played, 9 goals, 4 assists, 13 points, 0 PIMs, and he's a +8. And the Swedish Hockey League is no joke. That's also it's a man's league. It's not juniors. It's legit men. There's even former NHLers out there playing in these leagues. So definitely good that he's putting up points, and he has 0 PIMs and he's a +8. So he's holding it down as a centerman. Now looking at Elijah Nuenschwande, he has played 8 games for Kjer EHC in the Swiss League. He has a 904 save percentage and a 2.66 goals against average. So playing very solid in net when he has to. Lasse Bullius, he plays for the Asat Pori in Liga in Finland. So 30 games played for him, 1 goal, 5 assists, 6 points, 6 PIMs, and +4. So again, Liga, it's an adult league. He's a defenseman, playing pretty solid out there. The fact that he's +4, not bad at all. And then Daryl Zulanskis plays for the Flint Firebirds in the O. 13 games played, 3 goals, 10 assists, 13 points, 8 penalty minutes, and he is +7. So all of our players +7. The goaltender doing well, below 3 goals against per average game. So not a bad look by the Anaheim Ducks prospects. Expect all of these players to have a good showing in the World Juniors Championship tournament. And also just looking forward to seeing Team USA come away with potentially their 3rd gold in a row. Back to back ships. Come on, Team USA. But also, let's go Anaheim Ducks prospects. Have fun out there. Represent your country. Play well. And enjoy some good hockey for all the fans out there. Now, the Ducks, they're coming back from the break, and they've got pretty intense week coming up. We'll get into that right after this. So the Ducks will be getting back in action Saturday, the 27th. They're heading up to LA to take on the Kings at Crypto, 6 p.m. Pacific. Going to be a very fun game to watch. I will be out of town, but I do know that there's going to be a lot of the Ducks podcasts voices out there. The Halos in the infield. You're going to have, I believe, Anaheim Ducks or Game Day Breakdown, I think, is going to be there. Possibly Royally Quacked is going to be joining. So they are going to be doing a live watch at Noble Aleworks in Anaheim. So they're going to be kind of doing a live cast, watching the game with fans and everything, and having some hosts and some like basically a panel watching the game. So that's going to be super fun. Check that out. Head out to Noble Aleworks or go support those guys and tune in to their simulcast, as I think they call it these days. Then after that, the next game that the Ducks will be playing is Monday on the 29th. They play the Sharks at home at 7 p.m. Pacific. That should be a fun game as well. Wednesday, New Year's Eve, they play the Lightning at 1 p.m. Pacific. So a nice little matinee game. So you can go enjoy some Ducks hockey and then go celebrate and ring in the new year. Don't have to be worrying about leaving the Honda Center at 10 o'clock that night. Love that. And then on Friday, they play the Wild at home, 7:30 p.m. Pacific. And then they go on another week-long road trip. So if you're here in Orange County or Orange Country and you're trying to go see the Ducks in person, this is the week to do so before they go on another little road trip. Get your games in. Enjoy some Ducks hockey at the Honda Center, other than Saturday up in LA, which I know a bunch of you will probably be making the trek up there, but Godspeed to you. Like all the prayers in your favor going into crypto.com. That place is a very interesting building, and especially if you're going as a Ducks fan. Just one of those things. It's like, I'd rather just avoid it. I'm sure it's fun, but I just rather avoid it. Don't need the drama. Don't need the chaos. I've seen some of it, crazy videos from some of those games. So just be careful if you're going up there. And don't be, if you're an Anaheim fan, you're going to crypto, don't be one of those guys. Don't be mean. Don't be an a-hole. Don't be rude. Just enjoy. You can have fun, competitive banter, but don't put a bad name on Ducks fans. Come on. Be smart. Have fun. Enjoy it. Have a little chirp sesh, but that's it. Now, looking at kind of what else to expect in these games coming up, you know, the Kings, they're trying to claw their way into the top 3. They're just down below, hanging out in that wild card spot with Utah. So they're going to be hungry. They're going to try to get some points. They've got a decent gap to dig themselves out of to catch up with Edmonton, Anaheim, and Vegas, considering all 3 of them have the same amount of points. So look out for a very dangerous and hungry LA Kings team, especially at their home barn. Then the Sharks, they've been playing pretty decent hockey lately. The fun hockey, decent hockey. Macklin Celebrini's just been on some other kind of tear. He's just on some, I don't know, he's on one. He's been going crazy, lighting things up. Will Smith, unfortunately, out. I'm pretty sure he got out for injury. So who knows with the break, he may be coming back. But Celebrini's just been this one-man wrecking show for the San Jose Sharks. And then the last time that the Ducks and the Sharks played each other, the Ducks got away with a 7-6 win, but it was only the second game of the season. It was a crazy barn burn of a game, back and forth, just goals after goals after goals. Both teams have figured out their play style. Things have come back down to earth. So this is going to be a game that, again, the Ducks need to be on top of their stuff, kind of like the Kraken game. A team that the Ducks have every capability of beating, but somehow can find themselves in a hole, and then all of a sudden it's digging themselves back out, and then you're seeing a 7-6 game like that. So the Ducks need to be scoring, and they need to be tightened down on their defense for the Sharks. Then looking at the Lightning, the last time that the Ducks and Lightning played was October 25th. The Ducks lost 3-4. So another team where they play such a good, well-rounded game, and they play really well on the road. 10-4-3 in their in all of their 17 away games thus far. They sit right now third in the Atlantic, 43 points, and they have 4-5-1 in their last 10, but are on a 2-game win streak. And obviously that's going to change by the time we get to the next game there. So obviously as next week goes by, I'll be updating on how things have been going with prior games and how the opponents are doing, kind of giving a little bit better of a preview for those teams. And then looking at the Minnesota Wild, a very, very scary team, especially now that they have Quinn Hughes. Quinn Hughes always shows up against the Ducks, and now he's on the Wild, who the Ducks can have a pretty difficult time with. And Kaprizov's playing well. Everyone's playing really, really well for the Minnesota Wild. So not a fun week coming up, I should say. I think San Jose is probably the easiest or most fun game that the Ducks have coming up. And you get to see the display of Macklin Celebrini, then the Corey Perry rivalry against the Kings, and then Tampa and Minnesota. Just a lot of teams that are going to give the Ducks a run for their money. The Ducks need to be on their game, especially in the home barn. Bring it for the Ducks fans. So Ducks fans, if you're going to the Honda Center, you bring it. Bring that energy. Be loud. Even if the team's down, the bar needs to stay loud. You guys got to build the energy up. Even if they're down, build them up. They feed off that. A lot of these comebacks have come because the Ducks faithful are in there making that barn rock under DJ JoJo. So get it going, guys. I'm going to be out of town for a couple days. Just as a heads up, I'll be heading back to my hometown, going and doing some Christmas stuff with my family up there and everything. So I will be out of Orange County during that time. So you guys need to bring it for me. Bring the bring the thunder, bring the rep, bring it all. And I will obviously see you guys when I come back. But thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Locked On Anaheim Ducks. And like I said, I will be traveling, but I will be dropping an episode about the World Junior Championship and how that day goes and just kind of what to expect in the week ahead, and do a little bit more of a preview of the LA Kings. And make sure you subscribe and follow to Locked On Anaheim Ducks so you get all the latest episodes. You can also find us on TikTok, Twitter, X, Blue Sky, Instagram, all the social medias. And if you need a last minute holiday gift or someone keeps asking what you want, make it easy. Ask for the Everydayer Club, ad-free episodes of this show, exclusive Discord server access, and more. Subscriptions can be gifted through Locked On Anaheim Ducks.supercast.com/gifts/new. And for those of you on video, we send you to the first ever 24/7 national Locked On Podcast Network YouTube channel. And on audio, make sure you make your second listen NHL game night on Locked On NHL. And as always, I'm Kyle Carr. Be good out there.